Hey healers, welcome. Let me get Instagram going. Yes, yes, hi, 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 hi. Do you know what this is about? I'm gonna, should have done this already. I know it's late, it's midnight, it's after midnight, but this is right on time. And I trust whoever is supposed to be tuning in for this conversation will be. You don't want to miss what we're about to talk about. Trust me. All right. Yes. Yay. I got YouTube right here. Hey, healers. Hey, I got YouTube right here, Facebook right here, and Instagram right here. What up, though? Let me pin a comment and let y'all know what it is. You can check out my site, rootchakragoddess.love, for a consultation if you want more information. Hey, y'all. Everybody, welcome. Welcome to the chat. What's up? I know y'all want to tune in for this conversation. I know y'all want to tune in for this conversation. This is so funny. What's up, y'all? Everybody, welcome to the chat. Drop your city and your zodiac sign in the chat, sun, moon, and rising if you prefer, so we know who is here. We want to get a read on the room and feel the energy that we're vibing with and welcome ourselves and each other to the chat, because this is an interactive space. This is a conversation. So yes, I will spend the majority of the time talking at you, and also I want to know your opinion. So I'll talk at you, but I'm also going to read your comments and things that you write. So put your 2 cents in. Okay? Please do. Please feel free. Drop your city and zodiac sign. I'm streaming on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Yay! Just like how I like to do. Gotta spread the message. And zodiac sign. And tips are appreciated. If you would like Root Chakra Goddess on Cash App, Venmo. And if you want my PayPal, it's in the bio. So what y'all think? Which is more disgusting? Getting shit on in Dubai, more specifically eating shit in Dubai, or your mom producing your sex tape? I want to know what everybody's vote is. Dubai or Kris Jenner? Which is worse? Welcome, everybody. Okay, I got my comment pinned. It just took me forever. But I gotta let y'all know what it is so that new people know. Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Yes, hi. Hi, favorites. Hi. Of course, I got my biggest base on Instagram. Well, who do we have here? We have a Taurus in Vancouver. What up? We have a Libra in Portland who's a Scorpio rising like me. Yay. Scorpio rising is the most underrated placement that there is. The shit. Okay, so we got one vote for eating shit. We got one vote for eating shit. We had another vote for eating shit on the comments of the post. And we have the majority of other people other than that voted for Kris Jenner. They didn't think eating shit was that gross. I don't even, you guys were, as a dominatrix, when I used to have subs hit me up and want to eat my shit, I didn't even want to do that. That disgusted me and grossed me out. But let's talk about why what's the significance? But okay, so first of all, for those who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, for those who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, we're talking. She said, "I need some context." Oh my god, like what is this? For those who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, there's two viral media stories that have come out in the past week that specifically relate to some of the topics that are root chakra topics. Root chakra topics, period. Shit, porn, family, sex work, all root chakra topics. Anything disgusting is a root chakra topic. Anything related to sex is a root chakra topic. And the root chakra is the red chakra. That's your base chakra. That's your lower chakra that covers your legs and your butthole and your tailbone. And it also holds your early childhood experiences, past life memories, ancestral lineage, generational wounds, and all those things. So anytime you're digging into something gross, something about sex, something about occult sciences, something about family, you're digging in the root chakra. And that's what we're here to talk about. You guys know I'm a rootchakragoddess. This is what we're here to talk about. And for those who don't know, what's just recently came out, first of all, first it was last week or the week before, I can't remember, where it was revealed that a whole bunch of different IG models and IG baddies have gone to, this is what allegedly, okay, that they had gone to Dubai and got paid 30 racks by wealthy Arab businessmen to eat their shit. Now we know, like, sex workers know that, like, a lot of tricks and clients want to do that. Charlie Sheen, the most famous one. I never heard about him eating shit or playing in the shit, but he was known to enjoy, like, laying under a glass table while a sex worker shit on top of the table. So that is, like, anybody that doesn't know about that story, sorry, but now you know. He's like one of the famous tricks of the world, and that's one thing that he would like to do, allegedly. But so there's a story that came out that all these different, and they named certain models that did it. And so for me, when I see a story like that, to me, I'm like, okay, so the goal of this story, this is a story saying that all these bad bitches flew to Dubai and they're getting shit on for money. So first of all, what's the reason for the story? Because, like, we have to assume that, like, there's always a reason for why media gets put in front of us. Otherwise, we wouldn't know about it. We wouldn't see it. Like, we do live in a police state after all. And the media is, sorry, I gotta fix this, you guys. But the media is another arm of the government after all, right? So even if it's the internet, it doesn't matter. We're getting this information. Why? They want us to know these things and hear about these things and talk about these things. Why? So that's why y'all don't see me hop on every bandwagon of blah, blah, blah topics to discuss. Even if it has a racial component, which race is also race and ethnicity and nationality and gender and all of those markers of identity, those are also root chakra topics. Hi. So, hey y'all. So, all right. Hey y'all. So yes, let's get into it. Okay, so these are all root chakra topics. So, but y'all don't see me weighing in on everything. And I have a very specific reason for why I talk about what I talk about and why I don't talk about what I don't talk about. And who wouldn't do it for 30K? Let's be for real. I mean, come on, it's like, it's rare to make that kind of money, like, in one lump sum for most sex workers. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know about it. But, like, I want to hear you guys' opinions, because I don't know. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to eat shit, but it's very tempting. And it's an offer. It's kind of an offer that you can't refuse. But the thing is, too, is that, is this true? Is it true? like, first of all, it's nobody's business what people are doing. Like, these are if this is true, these are consenting adults doing whatever they want to do in their own privacy. So why is it anybody's business anyways? But it sounds like you try it. Like, it honestly, the thought really disgusts me, but at the same time, like, there's so much gray area in here, and I feel like one of the bylines to this story is that bitches will do anything for money. Sex workers will do anything for money. And I feel like another layer to the story is like Arab men are gross. Arab men are disgusting. Arab men are on a power trip. Arab men are racist, since the majority of these women are not Arab. They're other ethnicities. So, not eat to shit on someone. I would definitely shit on someone for 30 G's. I would shit on someone for less money than that. But as far as eating it, I don't know. But the thing is, like, a lot of people do a lot of desperate shit for a lot less money than that. So it's not far-fetched. And what is the problem? If that is a bitch's actual fetish, who gives a fuck? Bitch, if you want to do that shit, do that shit. Because it is really bitches that get off on that. And they should be able to do that if they want to, for money or whatever. It's not uncommon to make 30K in one night. It's more what you'd have to do, to be honest. Okay, maybe it's not uncommon to make 30K, but the vast majority of people doing sex work would never, ever have the opportunity to ever touch that much money at one time. So let's be real about that, because I can't stand when people try to act like sex work is glamorous and bitches are rich, because that's not the case. It is bad bitches that are homeless right now. And it's not fair. Like, and that's why we need to have these conversations beyond the shock value of what they get put in our face to be. We should all respect people's likings. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Like, first of all, I don't think that this story should have ever came out. It should have never been public, ever. Because people don't understand these things. Like, they don't understand these things. So now it's a joke. So, like, if a bitch goes to Dubai, everybody's going to be like, oh, she must have ate shit to get there. And it's just one more way for people to disrespect hoes. I had an old white guy have me pee in his face and crack eggs over his head. And I made nothing near 30K. They're so gross, but to each their own. It's always something that somebody likes that they will be willing to pay for. And yes, like I said, it's bitches are doing a lot of stuff, and not touching 30 racks. They're not even touching 10 racks or even one. So, like, these conversations make me so mad, because this is like I was saying, like, okay, first, what are all the underlying assumptions here? Why is it that whenever Arab people get press, it's the worst possible press you could ever imagine? Like, no press is ever positive about Arab people. It's always extremely negative, and this just takes the cake to me. And it's like, if it is true, like, who gives a fuck? What's the point of telling this story? So that's where you have to have deeper discernment and look into, why are they telling us this story? Why are they even saying this shit? Exactly. American propaganda. Just one more stigma. Exactly. It's fucking propaganda. It is fucking propaganda. Every story is negative towards Arab people because they want everybody to excuse the looting, raping, and pillaging of our people in homelands, and think that it's a legitimate job to go into the military. But fucking eating shit for 30K isn't a legitimate job? Would you rather go into the military and kill innocent people or eat shit for 30K? If you had to choose, I know what I would choose. I would never. I have morals, and there's things that are beneath me. Do you see how this shit works? But what they just did, the psyops, that's psychological operations. Those are military operations that are based in the psyche, and they use psychological warfare to dominate and control populations, entire populations. Bitch, this bitch said, "Where's the salt and pepper?" Shut up. This is crazy. This is so crazy. So to eat somebody else's or their own, not eat to shit on. So no, like this is about men shitting in women's mouths and them eating the shit and them shitting on women to disrespect them. And that's what the kink is for them, which I've never heard of in my life. I've never heard of that. I guess, but I don't know. I guess that could be somebody's kink for sure, I'm sure. But in all my years as a sex worker, working as a dominatrix, doing webcam, getting hit up like day in and day out by tons of weirdos, I've never had anybody. Oh wait, one time in my entire fucking life of 13 years of working as a sex worker, one time did I have one client, potential client, ask me if I would eat his shit, and I said hell no. How is that? How is it that this is just a common, like, this is just super common fetish in Dubai now? Okay, that's a super common fetish in Dubai because I've never heard of it, and I'm Arab. So I've had Arab clients. So what is that? So, but then there's the racial component too. Would they shit on an Arab woman? Why wouldn't they? This is the whole thing with whenever anybody has these conversations about Arab men, they always assume that they treat Arab women well. Why would y'all assume that? But then on the other side of the face, it's taken for granted as an assumption that they don't treat Arab women well and that Arab women are victims and oppressed and need to be rescued by American military. So which is it? Make up your mind, America. I'm tired. Like, can we just come to a fucking conclusion? We can't, because it's psyops. It's just like narcissistic abuse. It is narcissistic abuse. They disorient you. You can't get enough sleep. The population is tired because they have to work too much. They don't have enough money to afford the shit. They're stressed. They're worried. They're fighting with everybody. Everybody's mad. Everybody hates each other. Wow, this sure seems like a potential breeding ground for like people to easily kill each other and do as much harm as possible to one another, which is the MO. So I get really intense and really passionate about it because what else am I supposed to be? All right, let's see what y'all saying in here. Also, the way that story read, those girls didn't know what they were signing up for originally. It was only when they were already there in an isolated spot, kind of gray area consent-wise to me. Okay, that's interesting. That's horrible. Even worse. But yeah, it's an uncommon amount to make in sex work in one time. Yeah, like, I'm sure that for some people that is a common amount to make, and we're going to get into that once we start talking about Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian. But for the vast majority of sex workers, not only worldwide, but also in the US, like, period, anywhere, most sex workers worldwide will never even touch 30K in their entire lives. Can we be honest and have these honest conversations? Because that's the thing that I hate about online sex work community, is that everybody wants to act like like everybody's rich and everybody's supposed to be rich. And that's not the reality for the global majority. And it really irks my soul how people act like that. And the amount of money that the most privileged sex workers throw around so easily, like, wow. It's stressful. As somebody who like ran an organization serving sex workers, which I can't do anymore because I didn't have enough support, like, it's stressful. Like, it's so stressful. Like, there is so much money being touched, but the vast majority of people will never touch it. And it's not just like people that are homeless or people that are like struggling or whatever you think is supposed to be the person that's successful at sex work is just as likely, they're just as likely to be struggling. Arabs, though, you know why? Because they know how to make what? And also, I will block anybody that says some out of pocket ass, weird ass shit in here. So just to be warned, so you know. But yeah, it's an uncommon amount to making sex work in one time. Yeah. I only made like, I had one time that I made that much money, and I didn't get it in a lump sum. I got it paid out over time. The Arabs, because they know how to make money, people. I wish that every time people talked about Arabs, they didn't talk about Arab money, because it's a big difference between being Saudi Arabian or being from Dubai and being Palestinian. And y'all would know that if like you weren't so brainwashed by your country. They want you to think like they want y'all to think what they want y'all to think. They want they want us to think what they want us to think, but I'm not paying attention to what the fuck they're talking about. And I learned like, and I'll spend the rest of my life defragmenting my brain and decolonizing my brain from everything that I've internalized. And as I look at myself in the screen right now, it makes me sad, because like they just steal they steal so much from us, and it hurts. Yeah, I had weird requests like that from guys of all colors. Some people be mad. What, be mad at Arab people for making money? Gosh, I just like, this conversation is on a like Arab money, people being mad at Arabs for making money, people being haters. This is a one, like, I'm not trying to be condescending, you guys, because I'm Arab, and I like study these things. I constantly research. So I want to like I don't know like how to say this in the right way, but like people's knowledge and understanding of most things is at a 101 level. And my knowledge and understanding of most things, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. I can be a dumb bitch just as much as anybody else can. But these things that we're talking about, this is why I'm root chakra. This is why I'm root chakra goddess. The things that we're talking about, my understanding is at a much higher level. So sometimes it's hard, because I feel like I need to like I don't know, like I want to bridge the gap here. Like I want to be able to communicate at all levels with all people through this conversation, and I want it to be understood. So like, first of all, they want y'all to think that Arab people have a lot of money generally, because that way nobody cares about the genocide and the war and the famine and the refugees, because you think they have money. They're getting Arab money. Saudis and people in Dubai, like, these people are wealthy as a general rule. There's non-wealthy people there, but people who are Saudi Arabian and people who are from Dubai and from Abu Dhabi, who are from these places, they're wealthy, because in Dubai, everything that gets created in Dubai, like any business, has to be at least 51% owned by a native citizen of Dubai. So that means all their native citizens, and they're not that many. That's a nomadic society. That was a nomadic society before. And it's in the desert. All the Arab world is not desert. Okay? That's what people think. They literally think that everybody's like riding camels through the deserts. No. Okay? So the most fertile and beautiful place is Palestine, and that's why it's colonized by Israel. And that's why, and they're planning to annex, they didn't tell you all this. Nobody knows this yet, but they're planning to annex more lands. Oh God. And then it stresses me out to say this shit too, because like, I'm America's Most Wanted in this. I'm about to make America's Most Wanted, which is so fucking funny, because they don't want y'all to, this is the setup. All these things are setting the stage so that when they go to take more of our land, nobody will say anything. They won't care, because why? We're wealthy, we're rich, we make bitches eat shit. So nobody will care, and people will happily sign up for the military because they're tired of seeing Arab people owning gas stations and shit. Anyways, let's move along. Let's move along. It's a sensational story. Most professional sex work won't publicly give details of what their client asked for, right? It's a very specialty kink. You heard of those sex dungeons people attend. It's crazy. You'd be surprised. I probably wouldn't be surprised. I don't know who you are or if you know who I am. But anyways. All right, we have a Pisces in Boston. What up, though? You're clearly connected to source, though. There's no doubt about that. Worked for one, had me bringing around 30 to 60 racks every week, but legal business, they don't play about money. That's all. Okay, cool. You shouldn't play about money. You shouldn't play about money. And why would anybody? And that is part of our culture. So whatever you were doing to make that money, like what? You were making 30 to 60 racks every week, but legal business? I don't know about this. Who is this person? Who are you? I mean, I gotta remove you because this is too annoying. All right. Everything that person said, like you are not selling. This person said that they were making, they were selling vapes, making 30 to 60K a week. Bitch, you fucking lying. That's why I had to remove that person. No, because you guys, I already had a person do that whole Arab money thing with me today, and it's fucking exhausting. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm not your fucking Arab princess. I will fucking cut you, bitch. And I'm like, bitch, no, you don't want it with me. Don't want it with me. You don't want it with me. I'm serious. Irritating. Because guys like that, a lot of people, they profile bitches. They profile hoes. They think that hoes have money to give them or will give them their money. Especially if it's an Arab bitch and this person already thinks that Arab people make money. Like, it's just so annoying. Ugh. God. I'm trying to think of what I would do for nobody to ever say the words Arab money to me ever again in life. What would I give? Like, I would go to Dubai and eat shit for 30 racks if I swear to God, if nobody ever said the words Arab money to me again. I will fucking do it. I swear to God, it's worth it. It's worth it. But I need the money and I need the promise that no one will ever say shit to me again about fucking Arab money. I am a bitch who was disowned by my family. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And then they're poor anyways because we're fucking Palestinian. Please, people. It is so frustrating. Like, I'm about to fucking cry. She said, I'd be scared no one will ever see me again. That's another thing, too. Like, do you think, like I'm sorry, but it don't sound right. Like, the story just don't sound right. Because it don't sound like those women would come back home from that. If that was the case, if they got tricked into eating shit, I don't know. The next, like, if you would do something to like that person that's sexual assault. First of all, anytime somebody forces a sex worker or coerces or tricks a sex worker into doing something that she did not intend to do, and I don't give a fuck if they use psychological methods or physical methods. Either way, it's still the same. It's sexual assault. But people think it's okay to sexually assault others. They do it all the time. They would do it in a heartbeat if they want. If they knew they could get away with it, many would. So now we burn in some herbs because exactly, there's a wealth class in every culture. Doesn't mean everyone is rich, and that's what period. And that's the frustrating thing about it and that's what I'm saying. This is how stupid are these people? Like, how stupid do you have to be and how delusional do you have to be to believe that the entire Arab population is wealthy when you know for a fact you've seen starving Arab children on TV and you've seen people getting their homes bombed and shit on TV? How the fuck do you fucking figure? And this is what I'm saying. People are brainwashed. Their minds are compartmentalized and broken apart, and this is by design. So nothing, no media, no story that the media here tells you is true, first of all. And if it is true, it's only being told to you to serve a certain agenda. Every true thing doesn't get spoken on. Every true thing doesn't get told. Only the ones that will benefit the settler, colonial, genocidal, maniac, rape, death cult. And all of those words, by me saying those words together and repeatedly saying those words together, ensures that my platform will never grow above a certain amount without extreme measures on my part to make a way for myself. But I know that there's a lot of people saying a lot of things on here, but they're not Arabs, are they? If you guys know of some Arab people talking about these things, put me on. I wish I didn't have to be as bitter as I am. But like, I'm 38 years old. I'm grown as hell. I grew up in the United States. I went to college, aka like senior indoctrination camp. Okay, I worked for nonprofit organizations. I worked for community advocacy organizations. I worked as a sex worker, met all kinds of people, been around all kinds of people, been in a lot of different situations. And traveled the universe and studied these mysteries up close. And like, when I talk about these things, like, I'm not trying to act like I'm more psychic than anybody else or like I know anything more than anybody else, because so much of my knowledge is so traumatizing that I hold myself back from even knowing it all because I can't fucking deal with it. And it's like the majority of people, there's truths, there's unconscious truths that the majority of people would literally not be able to live through knowing about. The reason why I'm so good at shadow work is because I do it naturally. Because first, I'm a Gemini. So I naturally embrace my duality. Second, like, I'm an Arab person, so I never was able to buy into the lies of this culture. The only way that they ever got me is because they had me drugged and medicated as a youth, and then in college, I thought it was a good thing to go to college. I thought it was a good thing to be an activist. I didn't know it was more opportunity to get more brainwashed and to get more of my energy drained, but it was. So now I know. So this is what I do now. This is my job. It's my job to talk about these things because a lot of people need this. They need to be able to talk through these things and hear somebody talk about these things in a way that they've never heard before. And this gives people language. So I used to actually get bothered early on when I started doing this by seeing some of my clients and students like speak about things that I spoke about and use the exact same language that I used. But what I learned was that they had never heard anybody talk about these things before. And there's only so many English words, like, how else are you going to say it? So that's lesson number one for anybody that wants to be an influencer. You have to be comfortable influencing people. And you have to be comfortable with people copying you because they're going to. And it's not a bad thing. I love to contribute to the culture, and I don't get to. Like, when do you ever see a bitch like me on TV? People used to send me those feel-good articles about these Muslim women are doing this in life, and isn't it great? And I'm like, listen, I love you, and I know that you're trying to do something nice by sending this to me, but I don't like shit like this because I'm not impressed. So send it to me when I'm included, and then I'll be excited and happy. But until then, I'm not happy about that because I'm not included, because they don't consider me Muslim, and they don't want me to be a representative of Muslims, because that would just fuck all the shit up. Because then everybody would realize that we don't need y'all to fucking save us. Nobody has ever needed a captain save a hoe ever. Okay? And it's only if it's beneficial, is it even worth anybody's time? So, period. Yeah, and as a sex worker, I know I've seen weird gross requests, but can't say I had someone want me to eat poop. They normally want me to make them do the gross shit, not me do the stuff. Exactly. That's the weird thing about the story, which is what immediately made I honestly don't actually. Let's see here. Is it true? Let's find out. It's not. That shit ain't even true. That shit ain't even fucking true. That shit ain't even fucking true. Exactly. That shit is a fucking lie, bro. I knew that shit wasn't true. Exactly, because that's what I was saying. Like, in my whole career of fucking thousands of requests, all types of weird shit, to have only one ever ask me that it didn't ring true. It didn't ring true. It doesn't. At first, I was like, "What, really?" And I just believed it. But now I'm sitting with it. I'm like, that shit ain't even fucking true. This is why I follow you. Yay, I love you guys. It's so much easier to talk to people that can be on the same page. Wait, what? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, we talk. Okay, so yes, for those that don't know about this story, everybody hasn't heard about this, but this is a story that so allegedly IG models and IG baddies were flying to Dubai and getting paid 30 racks to eat shit. It gave me weird vibes. I didn't think it was true. That shit ain't even fucking true. And if it was true, those men would have got girls to sign stuff to not talk about it. That checks out. But so for those that are just joining us, for those of y'all that are just joining us, we've spent the first part of this session just breaking down this whole story about the IG models getting shit on and eating shit in Dubai, which we're coming to our collective conclusion that that shit wasn't even fucking true. Because have you ever, in your whole entire life as a sex worker, when has a guy ever asked you to eat his shit? Crickets. That's what I thought. She said, that's why I use my VPN to look at news in different countries. So I want to get more experienced with doing stuff like that. If you guys are experienced with stuff like that, it will really help to share that information. I would love to know. Because I was just saying to my friend earlier, like, I want to start using different search engines because Google is trash. I don't know anything about VPN or none of that. I've already been in, like, I'm not going to say it, never mind. But I literally, because the reason why, like, a lot of the privacy stuff that people care about, I've just had so many stalkers that I felt that it was, like, easier yes, you can find my real name easily. That's fine. And whatever else you're going to try to do, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, that kind of makes me laugh. Whoa. No, I thought the story was not about eating. You could die. Like, I just want any sex worker to tell me if any trick has ever in your life asked you to eat his shit. For me, it happened one time in my entire life, and I said no. And he also, like, his offer of payment was, like, extremely low too. Like, how are you gonna lowball? But that's just probably was fucking fake. Because like, if what you guys don't know, if you don't do this and you've never done this, a lot of times they just be lying anyways. They lie. Oh yeah, people can lie. Oh yeah, people can lie. People act like people can't fucking lie, and like the media doesn't lie every day. So now that we've talked, so we broke that down, and we broke, like, if you missed it, make sure you go and watch the beginning later. I'll post it, because we got to break down all the ins and outs of that story, and we're comparing it to the Kris Jenner story where Ray J came out and like just aired out all the tea and basically like let everybody know, like, not only did Kris Jenner produce this porn, she had us do like a bonus reel. She had us go back and film a bonus reel so that we would have B-roll. And like, yes, it was produced and Kris was the producer. And yes, she's Kim's mom, and Kim was 17. She was underage. Wait, was she underage? No. She because they couldn't have put it out if she was underage. How old? Do you guys know how old Kim was when she did that video? I was getting it confused with what's the other one? Courtney, with the first look, I haven't kept up with the Kardashians in a minute like that, but the first episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where everybody knew that Kim had made the tape, and then Courtney had underage pictures, and there was like a big drama and a whole thing. So once a guy wanted me to eat my own puke for pennies, that was bad, like poop, in my opinion. Ew. I feel like the only time like you should be forced to eat your own puke is if you is if you're just giving some really fire head. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me stop. I'm clearing my throat chakra. You guys know, like, I've been doing this for a minute, and I'm ready to like go public as a sex and relationship coach who has a history as a sex worker. Like, all the things that I've been talking about and keeping it like cute and insular in my sweet little sex worker community that made me feel safe. I'm getting ready to like, the butterfly's wings are drying. They're almost dry. I'm getting ready to like make my reveal to the public, and I feel more comfortable, more confident. I feel safe. I did the things that I needed to do to make myself feel comfortable, confident, and safe to be able to do that. Like, I have been self-sabotaging myself and holding myself back from growing because it's too scary. Because listen to what I talk about. Look at the shit that I talk about. Listen to the shit that I say. But it's really me. You gotta, hey, you gotta be you. Yeah, I had a trick ask me. I appreciate your words. I'm sending you lots of love. I feel the love. I feel it. I love you guys. Oh, cool. Okay, so she said, I use VPN on my phone and laptop. I watch bootlegs so to keep them from seeing my location. But then I realized that when I set it on another country, I could see the sites in that country, but I still use Google. Cool. Interesting. I know there's another search engine called DuckDuckGo. If you guys know of any other ones, drop them in the chat. And so I haven't used it extensively, but on these other search engines, you're supposed to find a lot of the stuff that Google censors. Because if you've really been on the internet like me for like a long time and you've been doing research on different things, you'll know that like there's certain shit that's just not there anymore. So if you want to preserve certain stuff, save it. This is the real shit. This is what needs to be spoken aloud and publicly. Ecosia.com, ECOSIA. Let me write that down. So I'll keep a running. If you guys have different search engines, I'll keep a list and I'll post them in my app. My app is a great space for us to have some of these conversations that we can't really have in public. But a lot of the stuff, like you're saying, like, yeah, this stuff needs to be talked about publicly. So I'm willing to do that And I also know that a lot of people aren't willing to do that. So if you want a space where you want to talk about these things and you don't want to do it publicly, the app is perfect for that. Supportive spiritual community. We are tight knit and love each other and support each other. And it's a great community to be a part of. And I like to share, like, we have like sections for like conspiracy theories. We have sections for bad bitches only. We have group therapy section. We do meditations together. We have different classes and workshops that our Reiki mothers offer. So it's like a great community to be part of. And then I have like a bunch of free ebooks on there too. That's always good. So I'll post the list of search engines because this is something that I wouldn't post. DuckDuckGo. See, I'm still figuring out like what I'm willing to post and what I won't post, and trying to because I want to preserve my platform, but it's like I don't feel like it matters. Like, it's confusing to try to figure out what I can say and what I can't say, and I feel like I've already said too much to where they're just like, we already know, bitch, we clocked your tea. Like, we already know what type of shit you on. So, across all platforms. Okay. It's difficult to show up honestly. Thanks for showing your vulnerability. I'm still working with my shadow self. I gotta shut up and listen instead of commenting so much. Look up DuckDuckGo. Maybe it's more secure than Google. Yeah, I've heard of that one. I want to check it out. I super want you to come to the next The Moon Yule to speak to the Zoom call. Show what you do. All right, tell me more about it. And you guys can always reach out to me via DM. My DMs are always open. There's been times in the past that they were closed because I was too overwhelmed. And I want to let you guys know it is very overwhelming and hard to have like tons of people DMing you. And like I had to continuously build my threshold for what I'm able to hold consistently. So for me to grow, it's been important that I'm bringing my integrity with me, and then I'm building my integrity. And you got to keep building your integrity as you grow, and that's what a lot of people don't do. So they're susceptible to like a lot of shit, and they'll throw other people under the bus in a heartbeat. So I don't know why people are surprised that Kris Jenner would produce this film when she knew like it would make her daughter a star, and that's what her daughter wanted. Because there's poor people selling their children into sex slavery every single day. Every day. So that's the difference. Like that's the difference between these two situations. Like, these people are wealthy, the other people are poor, but they're still doing sex work. Everyone in Hollywood is doing sex work, because not only are they selling sex, if they're performing sex on screen, not only are they selling their bodies and their sex appeal, but they're literally doing sex magic rituals. And that's what they do. It's what they do. That's what they do. The foundation of this society is child molestation. Why do they call it kindergarten? If that ain't the most molester ass shit I've ever heard of in my life, kindergarten, a garden of children. I had to give the side eye to every one of my fucking screens right now, because if that's not the most molester ass shit I've ever heard of in my life, and that's just normal, that's what literally almost every child gets funneled through, and y'all didn't know that this is what was happening. Why is it German? First of all, why is it even German? Nobody questioned the shit. Nobody questions shit. But you know why? Because they're brainwashed. And they're so stressed out that they can't think. They're afraid they're not going to survive, so they don't ask questions. They just go along with whatever they're supposed to do and whatever is going to buy them whatever they need. So I honestly don't understand why anybody's even surprised. I think that they're surprised is that they know about it. Because usually you don't know about these things. And that this is why with like Pluto retrograde and Saturn in Aquarius, a lot of, and also I am also going to stop using tropical astrology because that's part of anchoring in the matrix too. Vedic astrology is much more accurate. I just don't know it. But I feel like the tropical astrology goes along with the matrix, and then as the matrix crumbles, we'll all need to learn Vedic astrology to keep using it. So I don't necessarily think that the tropical is like completely, like, I'm not going to say it's like completely wrong, because it might be that there's a certain timeline that it operates on, but I don't want to be on that timeline anymore, and I know y'all don't either. So learning Vedic astrology for my astro babes is what's next. That's what's next. You heard it here. If you ain't heard it before. Integrity is a constant evolving practice. Work-life balance is a daily struggle. Yes, because I've seen and heard how people get used when they have a platform, how they get used to hurt others through that platform and indoctrinate others and use others. And what I learned and realized is that most people, first of all, why do people think that celebrities are their friends? They don't think that you're their friends. Like, they're not, like, they don't care about people. They will happily put a subliminal soundbite in every single one of their songs that tells kids to kill themselves if it means that they get paid $5 million. Literally $5 million, $10 million. Like, how much money do you think that it would take for somebody to do that? People kill other people for much less money than that, straight hand-to-hand combat. So no, you can't tell me or convince me. Like, and so you guys remember how everybody used to like make fun of the Illuminati or think that shit wasn't real, but now it's like nobody can really ignore it or deny it, and that's how you can really tell who's really brainwashed, is because they either like they don't believe that it's possible, that it could be possible at all, or they just don't want to talk about it. Because the reason why is because that will cause them to have a mental breakdown, because that would expose the unconscious shadow that they are unaware of and that they're unwilling to be aware of. The phrase sex sells should stop being used. Mind blown. Yeah, kindergarten, dude. Exactly. It's fucking kindergarten. A garden of kids? A garden of children? What? And nobody flagged that was some molester ass shit. No, they didn't. Why? Because normalized. Because every family protects their molesters. When have y'all seen a family not protect their fucking molesters? It's so rare. It's so rare. Like, everyone in the family will know, but nobody will do anything about it. But then, see, usually everybody in the family knows about the men that are molesters, but they don't know about the women that are molesters. And I don't understand why people think that women are less capable of sexual violence than men are, especially when it comes to a child that's helpless, that they can easily overpower or outsmart. My spirit cringed at kindergarten. Yeah. That's when we start getting indoctrinated into the system. But it starts earlier than that in our families, when we get raped or molested as children. Our families, when we get raped or molested as children, which most of us have been. And most people, if they don't think that they've been raped or molested, they just don't remember it. Sorry, unpopular opinion. I'm not trying to trigger anybody too bad right now. But y'all already know what type of shit I be on. It's true. I think that more people are traumatized than not. Definitely. Everybody has a lot of trauma. Big T trauma, little T trauma. I don't think that I don't know many people that haven't been raped or molested, even if they don't call it that, or even if they don't want to admit to it. Trigger away. I love that you said that. Thank you. Okay, YouTube. I see YouTube is popping now. Yes. I love my stats on YouTube because I don't get that many views for my videos, but my ratio of likes to views is so great. Like right now, it's 5 people viewing and 4 likes. Like that's almost 100%. I really appreciate you guys because when you guys do stuff like that, like when you like my posts, when you leave comments, like it's not just interesting and informative for me to know what you're thinking, it also helps boost my page so that more people can see it, especially more of your people, which is cool. Planting indoctrination into a bug garden of a bunch of kids' heads. That's what they do. Oh, a big garden of a bunch of kids' heads. Exactly. I appreciate your words. Thank you. Girl, I just realized I was molested when I was 8. See, like, it's we protect ourselves from this information until we're ready to handle it. It won't come until we're ready. That's why I don't feel that bad triggering you guys, because I know that you wouldn't be here if you couldn't handle it. Because otherwise you wouldn't be here. I mean, you could be anywhere right now, and there's like billions of people that aren't here right now, but you are here. So I know you can handle it. I know you're here for it, and I know you want to know, and you want to remember, and you want to make the things that are unconscious conscious. And that's amazing. This is the type of people I want to surround myself with, and I want to be around. And it feels so good. And it was so lonely for such a long time because, like, I didn't have those people. I found you on the internet, and now I'm starting to find you more in real life, and that feels really good. It feels good. It feels safe. It feels comforting. And like it feels healing. I think we need this because we've been through too much. We've suffered enough. We've suffered enough. Surprise that shit. Yeah, like it's like you can hide things from your brain, and your body is so intelligent. You can hide things from yourself. And this is why so many of our elders have so much adverse health conditions like Alzheimer's, like heart failure, liver failure, from repressing all that stuff and forgetting to remember it, forgetting on purpose. So for example, Alzheimer's runs in my family. Do you think that there's a single person in my family that I can express to them that I believe that the reason why Alzheimer's runs in our family is because of childhood sexual abuse? There's one person, but that's it. I could not have this conversation with, I can't, I don't think that I could have this conversation with anybody else. And like, I can barely have the conversation with this one person because they don't want to know, because they don't want to think about their own sexual abuse. They don't want to think about the abuse that they experienced, and they don't want to think about the abuse that they perpetuated, because that's how these things work. That's how these things work. It's natural. If somebody is abused, or if anything happens to somebody, they're going to take that and give it to somebody else, whether it's negative or positive. And you guys on Facebook don't have to be so quiet. You can talk too. The repression is real. Like, it took me so long. It took me so long for that memory to show up in my memory bank till like a couple years ago. And I want to ask you, did you do anything special for it to come out? Did you intend, like, I want to find out what happened to me, or I want to heal, or I want to do shadow work? Did you intend for that information to come out, or was it a surprise? And was it triggered by anything? Thanks for the love, you guys. The repression is real. I know what you mean. So slowly being open and finding our tribe. I move slow. Yeah, it's okay to move slow. That's how you know that, you're doing something real and it's really deep. And one of the things that I've said many times before is like, the slower we move, the more undetectable we are to outside evil entities and forces that want to control us, because their time moves a lot faster than our time. So when we go slow, it's too slow for them to find. So this is one of the reasons why meditation is such a life changer. And breath work is such a life changer. Because when you slow down, they can't find you. But when you move fast, you're moving on their time. So they're in resonance right there with you, so they can find you. Yes, I do believe that Earth is colonized by intergalactic colonizers, and I do believe that they came here and made humans into a slave race, and that they made it into a prison planet. Yeah, I do believe that because I see the evidence. But it's my intention for myself and everybody around me to not live in that reality at all. Like, to not live in that reality at all. Good to know about the difference in speeds. I used to move quickly as fuck. Yeah. It's good to move slow, real slow. And that's one of the things I like about our community too, is because we've been building this together for over 5 years. And a lot of y'all have been tuning in the whole time. I needed it to be sex worker only community. I needed it to be like sex worker specific, but I don't need that anymore because I grew. So yeah, like honestly, like I felt like I would have more to say about the Kris Jenner thing, but I really have nothing else to say besides the fact that what do you I would say, what do you people expect? I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the masses. Like, what do you people expect? Like, this woman like was married to a wealthy man, wealthy as hell. He died. Now she has to provide for herself and her multiple daughters. Y'all don't think that like that doesn't y'all don't realize that happens every day? Has anybody heard the song Fancy by Reba McEntire? Like, do people not realize that this happens every day? Like, yes, moms can pimp their daughters. Yes. Who do people think sells the majority of people into sex slavery? They really think that some stranger just pulls up in a van and puts the kid inside and takes off. It's sick and it's sad and it sucks. Parents willingly sell their children for pennies, for drugs, for food, for shelter. Children are a form of wealth. The more children someone has, the more wealth someone has. Why? Because they can sell the child, or they can give the child in marriage, or they can raise the child and put the child to work for them, or they can raise the child and the child will go to work and take care of them and bring back the money. So either way, it's all about a check. Why is this surprise? Why is this news? Don't people know that people need money to live? But why do people think that rich people don't do the same desperate ass shit that poor people do? A lot of rich people don't even feel like they're rich. They'll never escape scarcity consciousness. And that's why they don't care who they hurt or what they do to other people. See? My great grandma sold my grandma in Guatemala. It happens every day. Like, I guarantee you, like, probably most of us here have this in our lineage. We just don't know about it. And this is shadow work. This is the collective unconscious. There's things about our families, family secrets and things that we'll never know unless we go to spirit and ask directly. Yes, move slow. Think and listen to your heart and act slow. Yes. Meaning I was always rushing in life, so stressed, so much seeking discomfort. Yes, I understand. Because you know why we do that? So that we can avoid like that wall, like whatever's behind that wall that we've built to protect ourselves from everything we know and everything we've seen and everything we've been through. So we rush and we work and we stress and we press, and that shit is just all still there, and it's going to be there until we look at it. And we got to rest to do that. I have a bone to pick with drugs. Talk about it. Exactly. It's almost the norm to pimp out daughters. Exactly. Like, I'm like, why are y'all surprised? I don't necessarily look down on sex workers, but I feel like sexual power should be in full control of the individual wielding it. I believe the same. That's why I preach sexual sovereignty. And it's important that like I don't want to only like speak to sex workers with my message, because we all need sexual sovereignty. But my experience as a sex worker is how I learned to gain sexual sovereignty, putting myself in different situations and being in different situations and seeing like that I wasn't in control of my sexual energy. Something else was using me, and I was paying it in sexual energy to get the money. These are trade-offs and these are curses, because we actually don't need money to live. We're goddesses and gods. We don't need money to live. My dad said my great grandfather ordered my great grandmother out of a catalog. There is not written proof, and I don't think he could make that up if he tried. Exactly. People did that shit. Mail order brides. Hello. And that's another thing too. Wives are sex workers. All these wives throughout all these times were basically sex slaves. They had no better option besides to get married to some guy. Makes sense. I appreciate your words. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God I can talk. Thank God I can talk. I love to talk. All right, y'all. Let's see here. Google blocks too much info. We need to start buying and saving books again at that part. Apparently, in ancient times, there were garden schools where they were taught crafting and skills, and then they graduate to planetary school. These were private schools of magic. I have research on it. Oh my God, it's so amazing. I love that. I would love to hear more about that. I'm so glad I kicked that guy out earlier. He was so annoying. He annoyed me. Oh my God, y'all heard me. I was about to start snapping. I was like, let me just remove him because this ain't worth it. There's so many moms out here degrading their daughters for wanting to be in full control of their bodies, me included. Right now, I'm dealing with a toxic mom who's doing daily attacks towards me. Girl, I'm sure you're not the only one in here. So yes, I'm gonna mention the app again, because the app is like basically is like our live streams, but it's 24/7 access, and you can chat with each other and meet each other and like show love to each other. It's really cool. So yes, toxic mom, check. I don't talk to my mom. But yeah, like it's like these levels of domination and control. Like it wouldn't seem like my mom was selling me into sex slavery. She was like, they don't think, when they're trying to get you to be like a productive member of society and like a good girl and a good person, they don't know. Especially my mom was white. This is a thing with white people especially. And one of the reasons, and anything that I say about white people is definitely going to apply to me in some kind of ways, because this is part of my DNA. So I'm not out here, I'm not trying to like bash white people. Like I am not into that. But in the US, what happened with white people is they were given TVs, they were given microwave dinners, they were traumatized from the stock market crash, and they just like wanted to like feel safe. So they're eating this toxic ass food, and then it's like this system takes advantage of shit so bad. Like, of course people that are traumatized are going to want to go for a convenience meal that they don't have to cook. They're traumatized, they're poor. And then all the food that was given out was also rationed for a long time. Like, you guys remember, like, I don't know why I said you guys remember, like we were around for it, but past lives and ancestral memory. But you guys remember they used to do this, like when it was a war, like World War I. Like, remember, you guys, like if you've ever seen any propaganda about this time, they would encourage people to make victory gardens. So they actually encouraged people to have gardens at that time. But they don't encourage that anymore. Do y'all notice that? Like, nobody's encouraged gardening since Michelle Obama. So that I know of. I don't keep track of these things anymore anyways. But they would ration, other than the gardens, they would ration the food. So they would give, that I know of. I don't keep track of these things anymore anyways. But they would ration, other than a bag of rice, a can of whatever, you know? So, like, tying this into a lot of the things that we were talking about Arab people earlier, one of the reasons that I see as American government wanting to make Americans hate Arabs so much is because they're using this, like, it's the same thing, and they're using the same tactics that Arab dictators use. They're using the same tactics. And one of the main methods of spiritual warfare that Arab people know about is poisoning. That's also, like, so Russia is not that far. People that are from Russia, people that are from Arab countries, like, they're not that far from each other, okay? Russia is next to, like, Afghanistan and Asia. Like, it's next to, like, you can clearly see the gradient of people as it goes. So, like, this is common knowledge to Arab people that there's certain ways to pray and certain things to do to clear the food so that you're not being poisoned by it. But American people, like, there's so many things that, like, American people are ignorant to because it's been deliberately kept from people here to impact the quality of life and compliability. So I feel like that's another reason why they want y'all to hate Arab people so bad, so you won't find out about stuff like this. Or the fact that, like, you know, like, Arab people, everything that everybody's that's going on in the US now it's already been happened to Arab people. Like, that's why we look like this. We're the culmination of when everybody has these conversations about how all Americans are going to be mixed by the year such and such. Arab people we already did that. We already are mixed. Arab is not a race. It's I don't know what it is, but it's not even real. It's not even real. Because, like, the majority of people that are called Arabs, I was having this conversation earlier, but the majority of people that are called Arabs, they're not even Arab. There's, like, thousands of minority groups and different ethnicities in what's called the Middle East, Southwest Asia, and North Africa. Arab is just a monolithic term that came through conquest. So Arab people do not know who we are. We do not know what language is ours. We do not know, like, what religion is ours. We don't know where we come from. Arab people are nomadic people traditionally. A lot of people are. And there's just so much common misconceptions that people don't know about, because specifically by design to keep everybody easily controlled, compartmentalized, separated. And what happens to the population when they're compartmentalized and separated, same thing that happens to the body when it's compartmentalized and separated. The spirit, body, mind, spirit, is all one. They're not separate. The mind is in the body. Okay, and the spirit isn't in the body. The spirit is the body, like the whole thing. It's all around the body. It's inside of the body. It's the whole thing. So we need all of it together so that we can move. And what happens when any part is fragmented from the whole, that part is susceptible to possession. So when you were a kid, hypothetically, or let me say this, when I was a kid, or when I was a baby, got molested the first time, bam, a soul fragment, an entity. Got molested again, bam, another soul fragment, another entity. Now, then growing up, 30-something years later, whenever I started doing this work, whenever I started realizing this, 33-something, however many years later, putting all this shit together. Meanwhile, I'm full of hundreds of thousands of entities from every soul fragment, every split, and it made me weak and it made me vulnerable. So take that, me, one person, as a microcosm of an entire community or an entire world. So what happens when people are split apart? They're vulnerable. What do demons like? They like people to be split apart and fight. They like to cause mischief and problems. Demons, yes, they're real. Anybody who says that demons aren't real or doesn't believe in demons is full of shit and doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they don't know that demons lived here before we did. Demons are older than humans, so I don't know why people would ever fix their face to disavow demons. And evil has its place. Like, everything in this world exists in opposition to something else, and yet it's all part of the whole. So I get super passionate about these topics. Nomadic people and the inability to claim a nation feels like control over land rights. A world amassed without borders makes sense. Damn, sis, I'm glad you're here, as in more aware of what you lost. Thank you, my love. Because I used to like fight for like visibility for Palestinians. I used to protest. I used to write articles and educate people. And the reason why I stopped doing that is because it's just glorifying their war crimes. And that's what those things, the reason why there's always a platform for people to talk about those things and they'll be able to talk about those things on TV is because it's glorifying their war crimes. Like, it's glorifying this state's war crimes. So they want you to bring attention to it. Even though it seems like you're fighting against it, it's actually reinforcing it. I realize this, so I'm humbled by finding these live convos. Thanks so much for your time. Spiritually and socially poor women, I feel it. T. Nomadic people, okay. I'm personally still looking for my past parts. It's been difficult, or lost parts. It's been difficult. Yeah, you're always going to be, that's always going to be a thing. At this point, I want to encourage you guys, like, I will always shamelessly self-promote myself. So don't ever think that I'm not going to sell to you, because I have good stuff to offer you that can help you. And that's why I can sell it to you in complete confidence, because I know it will help you. So I'm always going to sell to you. I'm always going to sell to you because I want to help you. So get some support, you guys. Don't do it all by yourself. Trust me, like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I did it. I did a lot of it by myself. I got help too. Like I spent lots of money. Like I spent lots of money. I spent my last on healing so many times and support and things so many times, but I never got consistent support. I feel like it really, really helps to have the same person consistently working with you. Like just like having a therapist relationship where you have the same therapist and you continuously build on that. Like I feel like when it comes to healing, a lot of people don't think like that. Like they think like, oh, just get this Reiki session and feel better. It doesn't work like that, you guys. That's why I encourage everybody to learn Reiki, and I don't even call it Reiki anymore. It's heaven on earth is what I do, and that's going to be my course is going to be coming soon. It's going to start on 10/10, and I'll have the sign up for you guys soon. I want to encourage everybody to join. Anybody that's already studied heaven on earth Reiki with me, you already know what this does and what it's for. There's no reason for you to do this alone. There's no reason for you to suffer any more than you already have and any more than you have to. And to have somebody like that can stay with you and know you, like a lot of my clients, like I said, I've been working with these clients for 5 years and over 5 years. And for some of them, like they might have taken my class and then done a few workshops, then taken a year or two and done their own thing and then come back. And I love being able to support y'all and nourish you and nurture you over that time. And one thing about me is that before I felt unconfident, like I didn't want to be pushy when it came to sales or like encouraging people to work with me because I didn't want to put that pressure on them. And then I didn't want them to be offended. Like, what are you trying to say, bitch? But now, the place that I'm at with it now is that like I'm more emotionally available for that. I'm emotionally available for conversations that have to do with helping people decide whether they want to work with me or not. I wouldn't have been able to have a conversation like that before. And I didn't have conversations like that before. They would have felt too overwhelming for me. So that's part of like attachment styles too, and that's like everything that you have going on in your personal life is always going to reflect in your business, always. As sex workers, we compartmentalize ourselves so much, but when you do this type of work, like you can't. Like I can't compartmentalize myself. That it won't work. So anytime I'm feeling a lot of shame, it always affects me financially. But I really want to encourage you guys to get support. And it doesn't have to be me, but it just so happens that I'm the leading qualified expert on these things. So don't try to do it all by yourself. You don't have to. And it's always going to be difficult. It's not easy because we have built our walls to protect ourselves. So that means you got to break down the wall to get back there to where the wound is. And when you clean a wound, it hurts. Sometimes it hurts worse than when you got hurt initially. So you think about it like this, like somebody has a wound and it's all like it's wrapped in bandage, but it hasn't been tended to. It's moldy, it's rotting, it's nasty, and you gotta clean it. And otherwise, the whole arm and maybe the whole body is done. It's not gonna last. So you gotta clean it. So you gotta take the bandage off, and it's disgusting. And then you gotta clean the wound, and it hurts so bad. It burns. And they actually have to surgically go with a scalpel and even cut out some of the rotting flesh. And it hurts so of the rotting flesh. And it hurts so bad. Ow. and then you still got to put more healing ointment on it, and it burns. And you got to wrap it, and it's tender, and it hurts. And anytime anybody comes near it, it's tender and it hurts. So there's certain levels of healing that you won't get to unless you have a safe enough, comfortable enough environment to get there. And that's usually when people find me to begin working with me, is when they've gotten to that place of a safe, comfortable place where they're ready to, like, and also like you've already done so much for yourself already. You already cleaned, you already took the dressing off that was rotting and moldy, and you already had that step. Like, you've already done so much for yourself already, and you're in a comfortable place where you feel secure, and you're ready to dig in deeper, and you know that you can deal with the pain and the sensitivity of when people bump into your wounds. So what usually happens for me is people don't usually come to me anymore when they're in a crisis. They come to me when they're ready to work through the crisis that has already happened. And I think that that's great, because I don't recommend doing too much shadow work when you're if your living conditions aren't stable. Like, whatever you come up to face naturally, it's going to be different for everybody. Because for me, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have options. It had to start happening when it had to start happening for my healing process. And it just, if I was homeless, then I had to be homeless at that time. If I didn't feel safe in my living situation, that's just what I had to deal with. But it definitely was not good for my mental health, and I wouldn't recommend it if you can avoid it. I would recommend being in secure housing and having some little bit of security, because a lot of times when you start doing this work with me, it irritates the demons that are already existing. So if these demons have been helping you make money so far, but they've also been keeping you anchoring in the curse of child molestation in your bloodline, and we clear that curse, that demon is mad as hell. Very mad. So what will happen in those cases is, if the person's not in a good enough position to like be able to go through it, it can be hard, because they might stop your money from flowing. This just happened with one of my clients. But see, the thing is that I just have to watch this from a distance and see it play out, because I can't be involved, because I'm not gonna fight your demon for you. Like, that's, unless I'm getting paid adequately. And so it's hard for, like, if somebody's not financially stable and not able to pay for the treatment or for the service up front. What happened was, I had two clients that were paying in installments, and after their first one had that they have both they wait I don't remember, but after their first couple payments, they just like ran into a financial block. They couldn't make money. And so I had checked in with them a couple times, and they were struggling. And so I decided to cut them loose as clients and let them go. And the reason why, and it went against my conditioning, that I thought, like, no, I should help them, and I should be there for them no matter what. But the thing is that if I'm doing that, I'm making myself vulnerable, and I'm making myself exposed for fighting off their demons, which then those demons will come after me. So if I haven't been paid, I don't have the money that I need for my self-care, my protection work, and for the supplies and the comfort and things that I need to be secure. So like, I don't know that I'm gonna like, at first I was thinking about not even accepting like payment plans or installment payments anymore. But I really don't want to do that because I want to make it as accessible as possible for as many people. But I also want people to be able to finish their work with me. And then what happened with those two clients is that when I cut them loose, like they're able to make money now because they're back in working with their demons. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is very specific to sex workers, but it's also specific to any industry, really. Everything that you guys need to know about me and the things that I offer is on my website, rootchakragoddess.love. So if you're looking for the app, go there. You can't find it in the App Store because it's censored. But definitely come join the app. It's a great place to meet people and get support, and learn more. And so, yeah, like I'm totally upfront about all this stuff. Like I want everybody to be able to make the most informed decision for them before they actually start doing this work, because I don't think that it's something to take lightly at all. Oh, you guys know that like I forget what I was gonna say. That I think I'm gonna have to go soon. I'm starting to dwindle my energy. But yeah, you guys, I take what I do really seriously and I want you to be as successful with it as possible. And it's not a game. And my website is rootchakragoddess.love, LOVE, and it is on my profile. And from there, you can book a consultation with me. And I recommend a consultation to get started if you're not really sure, like, if you already know me and you know my work and you know, like, I need the Empress energy healing or I need the rapid shadow integration, then go select that. But like, what I'm probably going to do, because of the things that I've just said and just talked to you guys about, is I'm probably going to make it so that consultation is your only option until you've booked a consultation with me, and then you can book for my other services. I think that that's a really important introduction, because what happened, another client recently had booked the rapid shadow integration and paid for it in full, but kept missing her appointments, and I kept rescheduling because I don't like penalize you guys for lateness or missing an appointment or something, because I know how things are. And just like I'm saying, like what I'm talking about, like these things are like, they're not trying to leave. Like these energies are not trying to leave. So they'll do things like they'll make you oversleep and miss your session, or they'll just make you totally space out. Like you could be sitting there all day waiting for it, and then when it's time to come, you just space out. And on top of that, people have kids, people have work. So I don't never trip about that, because also I work from home. So it's not like I'm like having to rent space or something like that. If y'all don't show up for your appointment, I just go about my business doing it, whatever I want to do. And it always works out. Like if I have a day where like I have a full day of sessions and I feel like I don't have enough energy for it, somebody always cancels. It always works out. So these are processes that I've gone through to where I understand how my life works, and it's easy for me to navigate it. It's easy for me to navigate my own energy. The more challenging part is navigating the system and navigating the matrix in order to build wealth, because of these generational curses. So we just keep working. We just keep trying. What else are we gonna do? So anybody that wants more support, anybody that wants more support, book a consultation and stay tuned for my Heaven on Earth course, which is you're going to be able to sign up for it soon. And it will start on 10/10, October 10th. And it will be not only because for most of this year, you guys have only been able to download the Heaven on Earth Reiki course as a self-initiating journey. And I did teach one Reiki class this summer. And so, but it was a very small class. This class, because the reason why it was small too is because of some of the things that I was talking about. But with this class, more of my audience and my constituency is ready. Even people that have never even heard of me, that I've never met, like there's a mass wave of people that are ready to do this. So I'm anticipating this to be a larger class. So join. It's going to be awesome. And I'll tell you guys more about what we study in the course. It includes Reiki certification, but it's so much more. And again, like Reiki certification, the idea that you can be certified in a holistic healing modality, it's different than, you know, acupuncture or something like that. Reiki is also part of the matrix and part of the psyops, anchoring in the current simulated reality. And I'll tell you guys more about that later. If you want, I have a video on YouTube called The Truth About Reiki if you want to learn more. But there's more that I don't even share in that video that I've done research on that I'll reveal when the time is right. But yes, see, it's so funny how people just assume that bitches don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They have no idea the extent of research and thought that goes into these things. Yeah, she said, I remember the first time I tried to do the crossroads, I got more sick than I ever been in my life and dropped off at first. Yeah, and that was when I was like trying to make it accessible, so I made it a weekly thing. And like it's like what I realized is like the more I'm trying to make these things accessible by lowering the price or like making it easier for people to like, you know, get in where they fit in, that's actually not helping, because I need more support than that financially from these interactions to enable me to do what I need to do on my end to protect myself and secure myself. So learning that, and then also not only is it not beneficial for me on my end, but on the client end too, they're not able to finish what they started. But the thing is that like my clients and me, like we're growing together. So as I become more emotionally available as a coach, I have more space for more clients and to do deeper work with each of them. So like, yeah, like she got sick when she tried to do the crossroads last year and couldn't finish, couldn't work. She was so sick and she was spiritually attacked. Like, I don't want to put all your business out there, but like if you want to say anything about it, you can. But she was severely spiritually attacked. And I was worried. And see, this is the thing that people don't understand is that like you guys aren't like just clients to me. Like this is not like a lot of people do a lot of things out of integrity when it comes to business and making money, and I don't. So I don't pretend to care about people that I don't care about. I don't. Y'all are my community. Like I didn't have this before y'all. So just as much of an important part of this as I am, you're just as much of an important part of this. Like I need community to exist in. Otherwise, like who am I? Nobody sees me. So yeah, like I mean, obviously I have different levels of interaction with all of y'all. Like my people that I've interacted with more, I know more, so I care about more. But when I see a lot of y'all, especially when you come to me for help and I see the forces that are trying to take you down, like yes. And then my hero's heart and the eldest daughter in me wants to just put y'all on my back and like swim to safety. Like, I was like, let's go. Like, I want to swim, grab you and swim to safety. But everybody knows that when you rescue a drowning person, you got to put them on the life. You got to put them on a life jacket or on a board or something first. You got to give that to them. You can't just give them you, because they'll take you down. And that's what's happening. And that's what was happening. Like, I was getting spiritually attacked by the people by the demons and entities and people that were spiritually attacking my clients, because I didn't have enough support. I didn't have enough personal safety. It was too much going on. Things are way different now. And the only way to get good at this is just to do it. Like, you just have to do it, So some people might think, well, if you can't do that correctly or safely without hurting yourself, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, you can't learn how to do something correctly without fucking it up. That's how you learn. And I share that to emphasize to you guys, just start. Like, just start. You want to do readings? Start doing readings. You want to do healing sessions? Start doing healing sessions. You want to teach? You want to coach? You want to write? You want to film videos? Start doing it. I promise you, as much as other people might want to say that you're hurting them when you don't do what they want you to do, the main person you're going to hurt in any situation is yourself, no matter what. So yeah, do it for you. Don't do it for them. It's fine. You can say it. I'm open. Okay. Yeah, I lost my voice. She said, I lost my voice. I could not even talk at the club, camp, or the crossroads. Yeah. I remember we had to do a session that was just text. And I mean, like, what? Like, she was getting spiritually attacked bad. Like, somebody was trying to kill her. And to be honest, like, that shit just comes with the territory when you're a powerful, beautiful goddess. There's always going to be somebody that wants to kill you. Probably because they're mad they can't have you or they can't be you. So yeah, we're talking about real life shit. We're not just talking about fucking fairies and unicorns. Like, not saying that they're not real. I'm just saying we're talking about life and death. Okay, we're talking about people's kids. Okay, people have children involved. People have their whole families. They have their whole lives, their whole lineage ahead of them. They have their own physical safety to contend with. Like, I know that people see me posting a lot of memes and posting jokes and things and thinks that it's all hee hee ha ha. And no, it's not. It's realer than real and very serious. So that was one of the reasons behind the change from hoesarehealers to root chakra goddess. Because this is not this ain't that, whatever people thought the fuck that it was. Oh, just a fun way to laugh at sex workers. No. No, they love to see us clowning. I mean, I'm not gonna stop clowning. I just want to be taken more seriously when I'm talking about these things because they matter and we matter. Stop clowning. I just want to be taken more seriously when I'm talking about these things because they matter and we matter. And again, like, the reason why it's not just sex workers and survivors, like, because literally all of humanity sells their body for money and has survived unspeakable horrors. And they probably like have traded sexual energy for something at some point in their life if they ever were able to do that. So you guys, I hope everybody's taking good care of yourselves, and I want to make sure that you think about that when you get off this live tonight. We've talked about a lot of heavy topics. I'm gonna go soon, but I'm not gonna go yet. So you have time to say whatever else you want to say. Please get it off your chest. Don't ever you guys are so cute when you send a message and then you take it back. I didn't know you could do that on YouTube, but you can. But you guys are so cute, and like when people do that in the app too, because I see all the posts that go in the app because they come to my email, and but it's just like the beginning of them. So sometimes if you guys post something and then you like sometimes people will post something and then they'll get nervous and delete it right away because they felt too exposed or too personal, or sometimes it's not even, it's nothing, but people just get nervous and they just, get anxiety and delete it. But I see the thing, so I'm like, hey, like that was a great conversation starter, like, or that good for you for talking about that. But it's okay, like even if you have to, whatever you have to do to make yourself feel safe, it's okay. Don't question it. Like as long as it's not hurting anybody else. And that's the hard part with our communities and like with things that we work on and stuff, and just people in general, is that a lot of times what happens, and I've been guilty of this myself too, is like people are hurting on the inside so bad that they hurt other people because they can't help it and they don't know any better, and they can't see nothing but their pain. So we really try to create an environment in which people care for themselves first and make sure to focus on the basics, like being well rested, hydrated, eating enough food. There's certain things that the majority of us in this community, in this constituency, deal with, and eating disorders is one of them. So that has fucked up, and it comes from childhood abuse, neglect, poverty, and other issues that happen in childhood. It messes up the gut bacteria, which is the other brain. It messes up our thought processes, like all the things, any mental confusion or illness or anything that you guys deal with. I guarantee you 1,000% is trauma. It's trauma, period. It's trauma. You're not crazy. I just want to shake somebody like, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not the crazy one. You're not the crazy one. You're not the crazy one. Out of everybody, you're not the crazy one. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. Okay? You're not crazy. You're a genius. You're beautiful. You deserve all the best that life has to offer. You deserve the world. You deserve the world. And you can have anything that you want out of life. You can have anything that you want out of life, especially because you're willing to put in that hard work to do it. 48 people just joined my live. Where did y'all come from? Welcome though, hey. But I'm about to get off of here, so make sure you come back so that you can watch this whole video. We got a Virgo in London. What's up, y'all? So somebody must have shared this on their stories with a high follower count, because 48 people joined at once. And welcome. I'm glad y'all here. We're talking about some heavy topics and some deep topics. So we're just taking a moment to decompress before we get off. Taking a moment to decompress before we get off. Yeah, I don't know. All right. If you have anything you want to say before we go, just drop it in the chat. I'm really proud of you guys putting in that work. You deserve all the good things that life has to offer you, and you will have everything that you want, because it's what you were promised, and that's just your portion of the abundance of the whole. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. So, like I said, like take good care of yourself. Like I feel like we need aftercare. Like hold on, I feel like we need aftercare first. First, let me burn some of this. Does anybody else feel like you need aftercare? Like that was intense. This is a turning point. I can feel this is a turning point. It's been hard for me, like as a Muslim woman and an Arab woman, to speak on sex and relationships and all these things, which you guys probably wouldn't know by how committed I've been to doing it, but it's because I have to. And I was frustrated that, like, great, I made it my job to talk about like the worst traumas that anybody's ever experienced in their lives. Excuse me. But I have to. And I like it. I got issues. I got issues. But I like it. Thanks for talking about how we're exploited, because it's true. Yeah, aftercare is cool. Love to you, Belizia. Dang, you would think I never studied abroad in Italy. Feeling this. Appreciate your perspective. Okay, Mullins has a great live to watch about astrological time, which may interest you. She is private, so not for tonight, probably, but soon. Okay, thanks for letting me know. We'll check that out. As a Muslim Asian woman, I'm glad you can talk about this and educate others. Me too. All right, y'all. Anybody else? Speak now. Don't be afraid to put your 2 cents in. You can always put your 2 cents in. You deserve to put your 2 cents in. We want to hear you put your 2 cents in. She's been talking about the Kemetic calendar. All right, cool. I gotta check that out. So next time, what do you guys want to talk about next time? Drop me some topics. I always take recommendations. I'm also taking questions if you have any, like just basic advice questions, like on anything related to sex or relationships. You can DM me. I have consultations open too if you want more support. If you DM me your question, what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to screenshot it and anonymously take your info off of it, but just put your message. And if you put anything in there that's too specific, I'll just block it out. But phrase them in a way that you wouldn't mind if I posted it anonymously and let other people weigh in on it. I'm gonna start doing that. Somebody hit me up earlier today and asked me a question that I'm gonna post this week. So you guys are welcome to do the same. And again, like if you want more support, you want more specific, focused support and time with me, then just book a consultation. I'm happy to help. This is what I do. This is what I do every day. You're never a burden. You're never bothering me. I'm never too tired. If I am, I'll rest. Okay, like I'm not drained because I'm doing this. Like this gives me energy. So you're never bothering me. You're never a burden. Okay. Good night. I have to get my sleep in after my drawing session. I feel kind of too much commenting so much, but it's what's inside. You're fine. No, you're totally fine. I really appreciate your comments and all of you, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing, because you're giving so much to the conversation by you sharing. So don't worry, it's not too much. Anybody that is too much is typically like, I'm not gonna vilify a whole gender. But you already know those are the typical ones that are too much, and I just end up removing them, like the guy earlier. Like, So no, you guys are active parts of this community, and everything that you have to say is relevant. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. I really appreciate you all. Listen, I have a great life. My life is so great. I get to do what I want to do all day, every day. I get to live in my apartment that I love. I get to live in the city that I love. I get to be in close proximity to things that I want to go to. I get to live my life and be myself, and nobody can stop me. And I would have none of that if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for my followers, my fans, my supporters, my clients, my students. I wouldn't have nothing that I have. So I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. I really appreciate y'all. And the best part about it is that it's never on no type of the customer is always right, or I have to put up with shit I don't want to put up with. No, like all my clients are soulmate clients. All my clients are people I will be friends with and hang with anyways. All my clients are people that I want to rebuild society with. Whether we do it in the same commune or we have our own separate autonomous decentralized communes all over the world. It's a beautiful thing. MashaAllah. God bless myself. God bless myself. And I have to thank myself too, because I'm the bitch that get up here and do this. And if it wasn't for me, there would be no me. If it wasn't for me, there would be no me. So on that note, we going on 2 hours. The clock is at 1 hour, 55 minutes and 55 seconds as I was saying that. And it's time to go. I'll catch y'all later. You know where to find me. Peace, healers. Masalama. Peace. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate y'all. Peace.